50 years ago, crawfish were plentiful here in the Channel Islands, and they were an important commercial species. In an article published in the Guernsey Evening Press and Star in 1967, pot fisherman John Carre stated that between 45 to 55% of his income was made from crawfish, and that for other fishermen it was up to 80%. At the same time, scuba diving was becoming affordable, and divers also targeted the crawfish, making catches of between 50 and 70 a day. Not surprisingly, the number of crawfish dwindled. The divers and fishermen blamed each other, but between them, the stock was virtually wiped out.
By the time I learnt to dive in 1988, crawfish were extremely rare. Some years I'd see one, occasionally two, but most years I'd see none at all. That is until 2014, when I started seeing something remarkable happening here in the waters around my home island of Sark.
The reefs around Sark form a stunning underwater landscape that's home to a fascinating and diverse variety of marine life. Once you venture deeper beneath the kelp line, animal life takes over, and sponges, anemones, and other attached creatures compete for space on the rocky ledges and walls. The most colourful are the corals, including sea fans and soft corals. This is also the realm of the crawfish. This species occurs in the eastern Atlantic, from Norway to Morocco, as well as in the Mediterranean. It feeds by night on a wide variety of small animals and carrion. It lacks the large front claws of lobsters and crabs, but instead uses its extremely long antennae for defence. Like all crustaceans, crawfish shed their shells to grow, and they reach maturity at between 4 and 5 years old. Males are generally larger and can grow up to 60 centimetres long and weigh over 8 kilos. Both sexes can live for more than 15 years. Crawfish are classed as vulnerable on the IUCN's Red List of Endangered Species, and in the UK, they're a Biodiversity Action Plan species. 3 years ago, I began seeing juvenile crawfish here around Sark for the first time. They were tiny, about the length of a thumb from head to tail. Since then, I've recorded them at more and more sites here, as well as seeing them get larger. This summer, I dived some of the reefs around Sark specifically to record crawfish numbers. During my 7 survey dives, I've seen an amazing 15 crawfish, including 2 that were large enough to be within the legal landing size. Diving friends on the other islands and around the southwest of the UK have also been seeing young crawfish. And the Marine Conservation Society's Sea Search project has recorded a huge rise in crawfish sightings around England in the last 3 years. Could this be the beginning of a recovery for this beautiful and valuable crustacean? If so, I believe that we need to act now and designate crawfish as a completely protected species until such time as there are sufficient numbers to make carefully regulated fishing for them sustainable. That would be good news for fishermen and those of us who enjoy watching these fabulous creatures in the beautiful underwater landscapes where they live.
I don't believe putting a complete ban on any kind of fishing for crawfish is going to impact anyone's livelihood, and we obviously have the perfect habitat for them here in the Channel Islands. Let's not see history repeat itself and crawfish wiped out again. Let's give the return of the crawfish all the help we can.